Hey guys, happy Friday. Welcome to the very first episode of FlashBack Friday. If you don't know what that is, you missed out on the palette collection video that I posted. And in that video, I told you I wanted to do Flashback Fridays for eyeshadow palettes. And today is the very first video for that series. Basically, what I'm doing is using old palettes because in the video, I showed you all my palette collection. The way I chose today's palette is just by reading the comments. I wrote down the list of what palettes you guys requested, and then I put little tally marks on the ones that had repetitive requests, and that's how I came up with using the semi-suite today. But if you want to have a little input on next week's Flashback Friday video, then I'm gonna go ahead and leave a poll up here. This is gonna be the very first time I do a poll, and if you are a silent watcher, if you're a little bit shy to interact in the comment section, you could just vote up there, and I'm gonna have two palettes depending on which ones have the most, which ones are the most, like the two most popular, and then I'll leave the poll up there, and that way I could still know what you want to watch without you really typing it out. And then that way, even though you're a little shy, I could still know what you want to watch. So let's get into this tutorial. This is the look that I came up with. I'm going to show you the eye look as well as the face makeup. Okay, so I already have the primer on my eyes. I figured I would do a talk through tutorial. I rarely do those. So this is the one that I used, and I used the color Light Sand. This is the one that I used to clean my eyebrows and prime my eyeshadow, and then also for highlighting. So I use this for a lot. I'm actually almost out of this. I am going to set my primer first, and I'm going to just be using a fluffy brush for that. And the color that I'm going to use is going to be Coconut Cream. It's just the biggest shade in here, the lightest shade in the palette. And I'm going to set my primer. I'm gonna do like a cut crease or something. I feel like I've been doing a lot of half cut creases, and in my Kat Von D liquid lipstick set video I finally did a cut crease again, which I hadn't done in a long time, and so I think I am gonna do a cut crease today. Trust me, cut creases are not difficult. It's just, it takes a little bit of practice, but they're not difficult. Once you practice a little bit, it'll get easier and easier each time. I remember it used to take me like forever. Whenever I was practicing, it would take me like an hour to finish one eye, because I would do one eye, and if I would mess up, I wouldn't have to like remove all the makeup on both eyes. I would just remove it on one eye, which I did a lot of times. I think I'm gonna use Peanut Butter, this shade right here. This is my favorite color from the palette. I'm gonna use that as my transitional shade. I like to start on the outside and then work my way in. I also do just like little circles. I forgot to apply my lip balm to zoom you in a little bit more, but I just like to do little circles and then just work my way inside. So there you can see it. You can see it just a little bit, but I'm gonna build up the color a little bit more and just start the same way and do the exact same thing. I'm just building up the color. And something that has been really helping me is holding the brush a little bit lower. Sometimes I hold it like right here in the middle, or just slightly lower once I'm gonna do the top part, because you don't put that much pressure on like the tip of the brush. And now I'm gonna use the same fluffy brush that I used earlier. I'm not gonna apply any color to it. I'm just gonna go over the edge and make sure that it's blended out. I'm gonna use Truffled. It's this dark brown. And I'm going to concentrate this one also in the crease, but lower than the warm shade that I have first. So I'm just going to put this right in here. And then with whatever is left, I'm just going to swipe it up on the edge, on the corner over here. So I'm going to use the same shade, this one here. I'm going to use it with a smaller brush. This is just like a smaller fluffy brush. And it's the same color, but it's gonna look a little bit darker because this one's smaller, it's dense, and I'm just gonna concentrate it on the crease. I'm gonna take the fluffy brush and blend out the edge, but you don't want to go too high with it, so that's why I'm not using the fluffy brush, because you do want to blend out the darkness, you just don't want to go too high with it. And then I'm gonna start right here in the inside. You kind of want to look down like this and start right here in the inner corner, and I always work on the bottom pretty much because I know I'm not gonna mess anything up down here, and then you're gonna work your way up. And then I'm just gonna go up like if I was winging it out. And all the way out. And then I'm just gonna fill all this in. With my beauty blender, I'm just gonna go over the concealer. Make sure you don't get it on the edge because you don't want to mess that up, but you do want to blend this part out. I'm done with this eye too. And by the way, if you can hear some beeping noise in a little bit, it goes off and on. It's like a construction truck or something. Hopefully you can't hear it too much. So next I'm gonna take Nugget, this one right here, which is a very like mauve pink shade, very light shade, and I'm gonna use this color on the inner part of my wing. So I thought I was filming the entire time, and I did push the button. I guess I didn't push it all the way through, and I wasn't looking at the little red dot. But all I did was put Nugget all over the shadow, so pretty much basic step. I used a fluffy shader brush. This one's by Sephora. It's called All Over Shadow, which is what I used it for. So I pretty much just applied the eyeshadow all over and then all the way to the outside. Okay, so before moving on to the rest of my eyes, I'm gonna do my face makeup, and I'm gonna use the Becca primer. This one is the Ever Matte Poreless Primer. And then on my under eye area, I'm gonna use the Erase Paste, almost out of this one. And then I also like to put it around my nose. You see how I have that redness? And I'm just gonna blend it out with the Beauty Blender. By the way, let me know if you prefer talk-throughs over voiceovers. I feel like most of my tutorials have been voiceovers, and I mean, I like them. They go a little bit faster whenever you're watching them, but if you like talk-throughs, I don't mind doing those either. I feel like it's more live. Nice and even. I swear this stuff just makes a big difference. And today I'm going to be using the Huda Beauty foundation. This is actually my very first time using it, and I don't know if I got the right shade. I went with Tres Leches. This one is 320G, and it's one of the lightest shades from the light to medium. I didn't want to get one for light skin because then they look too pink or way too light for me. But my tan is on the verge of fading, so there's not much I can do if this one is too dark. Like, I would just have to exchange it. So hopefully it's a good shade for me. But this one is the Faux Filter High Coverage Foundation. So we're gonna be trying it out today, and I'm gonna shake it first. Let me shake it first. I haven't even swatched it, pumped it out, nothing at all. I wanted to do it on camera, so I'm just gonna take, I don't know how many pumps yet. We'll see how thick it is. Okay, it doesn't want to come out. Okay, there we go. Okay, so I took about 2.5 pumps. The first one didn't really pump out too much. I mean, it looks like it's probably gonna work for me. So hopefully, because in the bottle it looks a little bit dark. It looks like it could be a little bit dark for me. So I'm just gonna take it. Oh, maybe not. Maybe it is a good shade for me. Maybe I shouldn't complain until I try it. I think I grabbed too much because it looks like it's really full coverage. It's a little bit too warm for me. Yeah. Oh yeah, big time. It's like orange. This is probably not gonna work. Cause like my Too Faced foundation also kind of looks very warm, but once I'm done with like my entire face, it looks a little bit better. But I think I'm gonna have to exchange it for a different color. It's super full coverage though, that's for sure. Really matte. It's kind of drying kind of fast. It's really matte. Yeah, it looks pretty orange. Do not get dulce de leche. It looks really light on the swatch. On the swatch, it doesn't look really light. It just looks like a perfect tone for me, and I'm not. It's just not. Or it might be once I'm done, but we'll see. But what I do notice is that it's super matte. Let me do my neck, and then we'll see how it looks. Okay, so now that I applied it right here, it looks better. It does match my arms, but still, I still feel like it's a little bit too warm for me. Don't get this shade if you are my shade. I am in the shade Mac and C 30. I use Buff Bisque for the Wet n Wild. I will leave my other foundations below. This one I would feel maybe in like the middle of summer, but right now it's October. No, there's no way that I can wear this. It's way too warm for me. So it is super full coverage. I like that. It's really matte. I mean, I don't mind wearing a matte foundation. I have dry skin, so that's what I'm going to be testing out today. All day I'm going to do like a wear test, and I'm going to see how it looks. So I don't know, but so far, I mean, it looks okay now that I did my neck and my chest area, but it's too light. It's too warm for me. But I'm gonna try it out anyways. I mean, oh well. It gives me a nice fake tan, I guess, but... And it does match my arms. My arms are pretty dark. I don't know if it's because, like, whenever I'm in the car, you know, the sun is like on each side or something, but my arms are a little bit darker than, like, my chest and face area. Today I'm wearing, like, a complete off the shoulder, so I mean, you can see my arm. So maybe if I was wearing, like, a t-shirt, you couldn't tell, but... It's really matte. I mean, once it dries, it's setting nicely. Now, it is making my skin look really even. Like, it is a very, very full coverage foundation. Very, very full coverage. Okay, so I'll just see how it looks with concealer. But so far, like, the foundation, just the way that it looks, it does look nice. It's super full coverage. It does cover up, like, the redness I have on my cheeks and stuff. I don't apply, like, correcting concealer on my cheeks. I keep poking my nose, but I feel like something's in there. But it did cover up the redness. It looks really matte. It's super full coverage, I'll tell you that. Like, for sure it is super full coverage. It's already set. It's not sticky at all. It's completely set. So I'm gonna do the concealer next, and now this concealer is gonna be way too light for me. So I think I'm gonna get another concealer. Let me grab another one. So I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Pro Glow. And this one I have it in the color number 2, Creamy Natural. And this one's not too light on me, so I feel like this one's better. Yeah. So yeah, this one's a good color for me right now, because the other concealer would have looked way too white. Like, it was gonna look white. I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild contour kit. This one, I have it in Dulce de Leche. Yeah, these are both called the same, right? Oh no, Tres Leches. So I'm just gonna grab some just like that with a sponge. And I'm gonna bake. I'm still gonna work on my under eye area, so I'm gonna leave a little bit of powder on my under eyes. This one is the best powder palette, or the best contour palette that I have used from the drugstore. The powder is so thin. I love it, and it sets my under eyes really, really nicely. I mean, it is just a good palette. You need to try it. It's not that expensive. It's by Wet n Wild. So I'm gonna leave that there for a little bit, and while I'm waiting for that, I'm gonna use my MAC powder. But I do like using this one to set my foundation, so I'm gonna set it. Okay, so now to contour my face, I'm gonna use the Wet n Wild again, and I'm just gonna use the brown side, obviously. I'm not gonna use the other shade for contouring, right? Okay. And I'm gonna bronze. I'm gonna bronze using my e.l.f. bronzer. This one, I've been using it a lot. This one's in the color Light Matte, and no, I'm not gonna use that blush, but I am gonna use the e.l.f. bronzer, and I'm gonna take my Real Techniques buffing brush and just get a little bit, just like that. Because it does show up. Earlier for the contour, I used the contour brush, but for bronzer, I'm going to use the buffing brush. They're both by Real Techniques. Then I'm going to take my beauty blender and clean up the edges the same way. Beauty blender with the highlighting shade. Okay, for blush, I'm going to use this one by Tarte. This one's called MAJESTY. This one's like a pink peach shade. I'm just going to start up here. Make sure I'm blending it. I'm not going to do the highlight yet, but I'm going to go back to the eyes. So I'm coming back to the eyes. I'm going to use Nugget, which is the pink shade. This one right here with the little angles brush. This little angles brush is by e.l.f. It's called the Defining Eye Brush. And then I'm going to use Truffled, which is going back to the shades that we already used. And with this little flat shader brush, I'm gonna get really close to my eyelashes. And then you see how I do you see how I do have fallout off. And little by little I start removing the under eye powder that I have, but it helps me so much catching the eyeshadow. So since I don't know yet about my waterline, I'm just gonna do my wing, and I'm gonna be using the Tarte eyeliner. Okay, so my eyeliner is done, and I just did a very thin wing on the ends. And then on the waterline, I'm gonna use this one by NYX. This one's the NYX Wonder Pencil, and I have it in the color medium. It is a nude eyeliner. And then for mascara, I'm gonna use the L'Oreal Paradise mascara. I'm gonna use this one on the bottom and top lashes. Okay, so I put some falsies on, and now I'm gonna do my inner corner. I think I'm gonna use this one by Stila. This one is the Smoky Storm. So I'm gonna take a little bit with a small little brush. And this one's more like oh no, this one's not the one. I was about to put the wrong one. I wanted the pink one. Yeah, I almost grabbed the wrong one. I want to use Kitten Karma. Kitten Karma is the pink one. It's like a rose gold. And then I need to remove this part. I just left it on there for a little while. For a long while, actually. Oh, I forgot. Before I do my lipstick, I'm gonna apply a highlighter because I haven't. This was the Fenty Beauty, and I'm gonna use the Hustler Baby side on the bridge of my nose. And then I like to just do this right here on the forehead, just on each side. And then for lipstick, I chose one from the Kat Von D holiday set, and I do have a full video on swatches and everything on this kit. I still have them in the box. Although they come out of the box. It's such weird packaging. But anyways, I'm going to use this one, which is a very similar shade to like the eyelid color. I like the way that the lipstick combined with the eyeshadow look. It just felt like it went really well. And I also like that the eyeshadow is completely matte. Everything is matte except for the inner corner. But I like the way that it turned out. And I also am liking the foundation. Like, it's pretty weird, but it doesn't look that orangey anymore. That's kind of weird, right? I don't know if it has to do with the concealer because it's like brightening my face. But it looks like everything else. So I don't know. I guess I'm just going to have to keep using it and seeing how the tone works. If not, I'm going to have to return it because it did seem really orangey, but now I'm looking pretty good, right? I don't know. Do you agree? Does it look different on camera? Let me know. But that is it for today's Flashback Friday. I hope you guys liked today's video using the Too Faced Semi-Sweet. Again, don't forget to vote up there so that way I know what palette you want to watch next. And if you're a little shy to leave a comment, that is the easiest way I could know. And I'm just going to keep adding to the list for new comments that are left. But that is it for today's Flashback Friday. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video using the Semi-Sweet palette. I hope you guys like the idea, and I hope you have a happy Friday, a very good weekend. If you are new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe before you leave so that way you don't miss out on similar videos like this and reviews and just all type of things that are happening on my channel 7 days a week. So that's it. That's all I have to say before I keep on talking and go on and on. But I hope you guys have a happy Friday and a very good weekend, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.